Hey, what's up everyone? It's Like a Hero, and today we're bringing you a new game and a new build for Zane in Borderlands 3. I just finished the campaign. It took me approximately 22 hours to complete over the span of 2 days. And yeah, I'm super excited. I really like the character. I'm so happy that I chose Zane as my first character to level up. I do plan on leveling up all the other characters as well, but Zane is awesome. Now, as far as we're going to start by talking over this, looking over the skill tree here. I use the Sentinel skill tree, and it basically revolves around the drone, which the Sentinel drone is a drone that flies out, and depending on how you have it modded or whatever, but it basically shoots enemies, and you can target it, and you can tell which enemies you want it to shoot by pressing F on them, or depending on your configuration, but the default is F. Now, it stays up for about 24 seconds and has a minute cooldown, but it's basically a pet that you can summon every couple of minutes, every minute or so, to help battle for you. Now, this build revolves all around movement speed and shooting while you're moving around, while you're sprinting around, while you're sliding around, while you're jumping around. Now, it says here the two like staples of this are in your first tier, and that is the violent speed and the violent momentum. Now I'm going to go over violent speed first. It is a passive ability. You don't have to do anything. It's just when you put the points in there, it just will always be active. Now it is a kill skill, and this build does revolve a lot around kill skills, meaning that these passives will become actives only when you kill an enemy. So violent speed is after you're killing an enemy, Zane will gain increased movement speed for a few seconds. And the current effects right now, because it says 30%, but that really should be 20%. I believe it's 25%. Sorry, 25%. You're going to notice that I have 30% there, but if you look at the amount of points I have in there, it's going to say 6 out of 5, and that's because of class mods. So on the bottom left it says 1 point from the class mods, and the same thing with violent momentum. But maxing out, you're looking at 25% movement speed, and the duration is 15 seconds. So there is no cooldown on that. As soon as it goes away, you can proc it again by killing another NPC, another enemy. This tree revolves around you getting a kill and then increasing your damage. So you want to put your points in there first, and then afterwards you want to go into the violent momentum, and that is Zane's gun damage is increased while moving. If you are standing still, you should not be playing. So if you like to stand still and shoot, then this tree is not for you. You need to be constantly moving, and it's very simple. The quicker that he moves, the greater the gun damage bonus. So at 7 out of 5 points, I'm looking at 28%. All right, so that is plus 2 more. It's a little lower than that. With my class mod, I'm looking at 28% more gun damage at default walk speed. Again, this is gun damage, okay? The next thing that we go into after the first tier is you're going to put your points into Cool Hand. Now, Cool Hand is increased reload speed. Again, this is a kill skill, so that means that you don't get this passively the entire time. You only get this after killing an enemy. So Zane's reload speed is increased for a few seconds. Now the current right now what I have with the 5 points is 13% increased reload speed normally, and then 20% after the kill. So, and it lasts about 15 seconds. You can also, the other tree that you go into, and I'll explain more in detail about why you're doing this right now when I go over the shield mods that I have. So the kill skill here is that after killing an enemy for salvation, Zane's weapons gain lifesteal for a few seconds. You get some lifesteal. The current effect, the lifesteal right now is 10% of the damage dealt that you get, and this was a 5 out of 5. You get back, and that duration is 15 seconds. I also want to talk about these talents on the side of the skill tree. Now these are skill augments, which they're abilities that you can, or skills that you can give to your Sentinel drone. So let me clear that so it's not showing it. Now there's a bunch of them. And I could go over all of Zane's abilities in a later build. If you guys want to, just let me know down in the comments. I'm going to focus on what the build is right now and what I'm using. So the first thing that is very important, the most important one here, is the bad dose. Now, Sentinel occasionally shoots out a beam of radiation, so you're going to see like a beam that goes out and it weakens enemies. Okay, now it weakens the enemies and it buffs Zane himself. So for every weakened enemy, you're gonna that the Sentinel drone weakens, Zane's buffed because of that. So if you use this on in a very crowded room, like there's a lot of trash mobs or whatever, you're going to get a huge benefit from this. So Zane's movement speed and fire rate are increased. Now the weakened enemies, they attack slower and they move slower, which is good, right? It's all about speed. Now the fire rate goes up by 2% per enemy, 6% per enemy, and that's just the damage that it does. We're not really using this because of the damage that the drone does, that this move does, but you're using it because you are gaining more movement speed, right? Another 6% per enemy. So it could get really high, right? Like it doesn't say that there's a cap. Like it doesn't say, oh, after 7 enemies, we're going to cap it at that, that movement speed. And I haven't really, I want to say that there is no soft cap, but again, I just finished the campaign. It's the build that I've been using. Any comments, please let me know at the bottom. So that is very important, the bad dose. The other one that I use it's just for damage. I use the Boomsday, and that is not only can Sentinel use the machine gun to do damage, but now it adds a rocket pod to its primary weapon, so it shoots rockets as well as machine guns. And it's 393 damage. It does quite a bit of damage actually in the end game, so it's a very good one to have when you're going to burst. Moving on, we're gonna now go over the tier 3, I guess, of abilities. So and this is important because all of his kill skills that he does, they gain increased effect and duration. So remember, we're talking about the violent speed. So after you kill someone, your violent speed, your cool hand, anything that gives you a effect is going to be increased. So the bonus that you get, so right, we get 30%, we're looking to increase that by 25% now because of the death follows close, and the duration of those are also increased by 7 seconds. So this is very good. It's real good. You're gonna run faster for a longer period of time, and you're going to be healing for a longer period of time, and you're going to be healing more. So that, again, that is a passive ability that affects the other abilities that you have. Now that is important because that's only kill skills. Okay. After that, at the moment, I put 2 points into violent violence, and that is after killing an enemy, Zane gains increased fire rate for a few seconds, and that's 10% fire rate, and that's for 15 seconds. Again, that's also getting increased from here, from the death follows close. And then I have 3 points in playing dirty, and that is another kill skill, which is after killing an enemy, the next 5 shots that you do have a chance for an additional projectile. So like a bullet, an extra shot, right? The current where I'm at right now is only at 30%. Now what I'm gonna say that I'm going to do is I'm going to respec, and I'm going to put those 2 points over here. I'm not going to have it there. I'm going to put I don't really care for fire rate. If you do, then you can flip-flop, but I believe this one is better, especially since the weapon that I use, which I'll go over momentarily. Now we want to get into the second to last bottom tier, which is another kill skill. So killing an enemy increases Zane's action skill duration. Now all this means is that your action skill that he does, his drone, is going to just stay out longer. So it does have diminishing returns. Now this is the one that actually says it here. So the duration return, so up to 12% max duration. So that's the max that you're gonna get. So you're gonna have to get a couple of kills. Now I don't know the exact how that works, but I'm sure you get like, you know, 4 or 5 kills and then you've already hit the limit there. But it does increase the duration of your action skill, so the sentinel drone. Now the final one is seeing red, and that is activating an action skill automatically activates all of Zane's kill skills. This is a very important skill that you need, that he needs, right? Now this build does really well because it's a kill skill build, right? So you're gonna kill a unit, and then you're going to, for the duration after that, anywhere between 15 to 20 seconds after that, you are doing more damage. You're zooming around the maps, right? You're sliding everywhere, all that damage, right? However, if you run into a boss or a badass, you know, what are they called, badass enforcers or whatever, then you might run into the problem, well, there is no other units that I can kill around here because it's just one unit, and so therefore you're not going to get your on kill effects until after you've killed that one unit, right? So a boss fight, for example, right? Now most boss fights and encounters do have units or ads around there, so you can like make sure that when you're playing this, if you see that, you just go over, you pop off the NPC or the enemy, and then you return to that boss, because that's so much, it's such a huge damage increase, right? You have to understand, like, if that his damage comes from killing a unit, he does get some passive damage normally just from like up here from like moving and shooting, but you're getting a lot more from like violent speed from these ones, right? You're getting more from like these, all his kill skills. So this is important because, like I said, it activates all of his kill skills. So when you press F and your drone comes out, even if you have not killed anything, it's going to activate all of your kill skills. So you'll have more movement speed, you'll have like salvation, you'll have everything, reload speed, you'll have all of your on kill effects will just go on even if you haven't killed it, just by using your sentinel drone. So very important. Now as I level more, I will put more points into these areas. Right now I'm only 34. I think I just turned 34 as I finished the final, or I did like an extra mission after finishing the campaign. So I'm 34. So right now where I'm at, I have 4 points into synchronicity. And what this is it's just damage increase. So whenever one or more Zane's action skills are active. Now this synergizes well because we have the drone. Right now I'm getting 16% per active action skill. So right now what that means is that I'm getting, every time I press F, I do 60% more damage on top of that, right? So like taking out your drone is like a huge buff for you, right? I don't want to compare it to another game, but it'd be like popping attack length in Division 1. Shout out to Division 1, like something like that, right? You're gonna do a lot of damage. But it also, because it lasts for the duration, right? It says here that it lasts for the duration of your active skill, because it's while it's active. That means if it was only active for 5 seconds, let's just say that, then you would only get that increased 16% damage for those 5 seconds. But because we have things like death follows close, which increases duration, right? And we have this one right here, which increases duration as well, every kill that you get. So you have good synergy there. You're going to be doing more damage longer. And especially when you come across those bosses, you're going to be able to press it once, take out your drone, and really start laying into that boss. So that's the talent trees as of now, guys. When I get higher level, I will put out more, right? I'll do like a completed guide, but you can definitely start building this and start working with this. Now again, this playstyle is all about moving around the room, slide it around, constantly moving while you are shooting. Now we can kind of go over and look at my actual loadout. Now all the weapons that I have on here, all the weapons that I have on, there's a lot of greens here. I just finished, you know, I do the last vault run, and you know what I get? I get like 7 or 8 greens. So that's what all this is for. Thanks for those vaults. Now, this build has a couple of things. Now you can use whatever, really you can use whatever weapon you want. What I have been using, and I have been using this weapon since level 19, is the double penetrating potent shotgun. So it's a Torg gun. It has, I still don't know how to say this. Am I saying this stuck Euro jets increase damage by 12%, or am I saying gyro? I want to say Euro, but tell me in the comments, fam. So this shotgun, it's not really even that great, but I have not found another one that has that same, the stuck Euro jets, right? So what that is like you can switch between impact shells or the sticky shells, meaning like you shoot and it explodes instantly on impact, or you press C and you switch it where you shoot the slugs at them, it sticks to them, and then when you reload it, they blow up. The reason I'm using a shotgun is because this gun right here consumes 2 ammo per shot, so it actually fires both shells every time you left mouse click or you shoot, meaning that you don't have to worry about like, oh, I have to reload to let the damage go through, like for them to explode. You want to be using the sticky shells because they do 12% more damage, right, on top of all the other increased damage that you're getting. Like I said, I was able to use this gun from 19 to 34, guys, and I mean that's a whole nother discussion we could have about the loot system and stuff like that, but I use this, and you're gonna see in the clips that you've been watching or whatever that it does, even in the end of the very end of the campaign, it still does very well. So slide around, shoot, and profit, right? Get your kill skills and that. Now you can use any weapon you want. I just feel like it synergizes very well with a high damage weapon that has the Torg talents, I guess, the sticky shells. Now the only other thing really that is important in this is that you get something like this improved extrication shield. Now this is a level 23. I've had it for quite a bit. I just haven't found another one that has similar talents. Now ideally in this situation I would want a capacity to be much lower, and this is why, because if you could see, the second attribute that this shield has is that your movement speed is increased. So 10% movement speed while the shield itself is depleted. Now, thinking back, I talked about how I had the salvation talent. Salvation talent, again, is after killing an enemy, you get life steal for a good amount of time. Getting it for 15 seconds, but remember, you're getting it increased because of this. You're getting it increased because of this. So, you have that. The best thing I could say is that you want the easiest way to understand this is that you want your armor to be depleted. Now, you want to have the life steal because that's really what's going to keep you up, right, during those fights. So 10% on top of all the other movement speed is quite a bit of movement speed. Then the other thing that I have here is I also have a class mod, the Smashing Visceral Disruptor, which gives me those class mods that we talked about, how I have more movement speed. And then I have the artifact. Now the artifact is very important because the artifact here gives me 6% more. So 30 plus 10, 40, and then 43% movement speed. Now I'm not sure if those, I'm not calculating the extra bonus that you get from that kill skill one, but over 40% movement speed. And again, this build is all about that movement speed. You want to be moving quickly. Right now, remember, walk speed is 28%, so your running speed is going to be faster than that. So you want to really have that. These could be better, guys. You could, I've only been playing for about 21 hours, so 22 hours. So you want to have an artifact that gives you more movement speed. You want to have a shield that gives you more movement speed when it's depleted. If you've played Division 2 and you heard about the clutch build, most of you guys that follow this channel would know what a berserk clutch build is. This is basically a berserker clutch build for Borderlands. You want to have your armor depleted, you're going to be life stealing, and you're going to be doing more damage because your armor is depleted, right? And that's pretty much it, guys. That's the build right there. If you have any questions, anything like that, make sure to comment below. If you liked the video, make sure to hit that like button, guys. Where I'm going to start doing content for Borderlands 3. I will be leveling all the characters. So if there's a character that you think that is dope, or a different skill tree, even for Zane, that you think I should check out, please let me know in the comments. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, guys. It helps me out a lot. We're on the road to like 500 subscribers, and I think we can get there, especially with this hot new game that came out. So thank you guys so much, and I will see you guys later.